Firstly, may I thank the Section 151 officer and the interim chief executive, and indeed all our staff, for their efforts in these very difficult times with the issuing of what seems to be the first of many Section 114 notices. And we must be very clear that this is not COVID related. The financial problems of this council predate COVID, and they have been going wrong for some years. If the issues were COVID related, then the Section 151 officer would not have been able to issue this Section 114 notice under the amended guidance. So we find ourselves as a council meeting to discuss how this Labour council has bankrupted our borough. Sadly, it did not need to be this way, as it was the choices of this failing Labour council that has brought us to this point. These choices are clearly well known, with the 1.5 billion debt mountain, the 250 million loans brick by brick, the reserves at a derisory 7 million. And if only you had not squandered the opportunity that Westfield offered, with the increased business rates that would have been generated, as well as bringing jobs and homes to the borough. And yet tonight we have seen Labour councillors revert to form in blaming the government for 10 years of austerity. Every local authority up and down this country has faced the same challenges, yet you are the only authority that is bankrupt and will be issuing repeated Section 114 notices never seen before. Repeated cabinet members think this Conservative group should take responsibility. Well, when in office, we certainly did. From 2006 to 14, we managed through the crash and the financial realities that followed. Yet we delivered balanced budgets and indeed a 2.6 million surplus in 2014, money that Labour splashed on their choices rather than putting to reserves. Labour was sorry for a while, but increasingly they're resorting to the blame game. Well, as an opposition, we have always challenged your decisions. We challenged brick by brick, challenged the purchase of a hotel, challenged your yearly budget overspends. You've had the challenge and you've failed it repeatedly. Even in September this year, you agreed an emergency budget, which you have already failed to meet, and the position has indeed worsened. With the black hole for this year now sitting at 67 million, with 37 million coming as a direct result of your wholly owned developer, brick by brick, failing to pay their interest due or their projected dividends that Councillor Hall regularly told us were coming. Repeatedly, we hear that there was a lack of pace, urgency and radical options. Sadly, that position remains. This Labour Council lacks pace, lacks urgency and lacks options, and most importantly, lacks the ability to change. When Councillor Scott speaks tonight to effectively support their failed developer brick by brick, you know that they have collectively learnt nothing. The same team that brought the borough to bankruptcy are now being relied upon to somehow have the answers. The same people that sat in cabinet and approved the choices that brought us here without question or challenge now feel they are able to pull a rabbit from the hat. You have proved beyond reasonable doubt that you are not capable of running this borough. Do not expect us to support your failure. Croydon deserves better. Thank you.